Today, we're uncovering the darker aspects of VRChat, diving deep into the incredible yet complex universe of virtual reality. While VR is often hailed as the next frontier in digital interaction, not everything in this space is as shiny and exciting as it seems. Specifically, we're exploring VRChat, a place where imagination meets immersion and where fantasy can sometimes cross into troubling reality. If you're ready to pull back the curtain on VRChat's virtual facade, smash that like button, subscribe for more thought-provoking deep dives, and let's get started. The realm of virtual reality, especially through platforms like VRChat, offers users incredible opportunities. From forging friendships across continents to experiencing adventures impossible in the real world. It's a space of creativity and boundless imagination. However, this same freedom can quickly transform into escapism, and sometimes even addiction. While many find VR fulfilling, others become dangerously absorbed. Users spend hours, sometimes entire days, in fully immersive virtual worlds, replacing their physical reality with digital comfort zones. Some report sleeping with their headsets on, eating while still logged in, and even avoiding real-life obligations to maintain their virtual presence. And this isn't just anecdotal. Psychologists have raised alarms about VR addiction, a growing phenomenon where the brain starts preferring synthetic social environments over actual human interaction. The consequences? Poor hygiene, neglected responsibilities, crumbling real-world relationships, and a decline in mental health. Take the example of Mr. Drew, a once ordinary user who found himself sinking deeper into VRChat. What started as casual exploration morphed into obsession. He upgraded his hardware, invested in haptic feedback suits, and eventually began spending entire nights asleep in virtual nightclubs, his avatar dancing while his physical self lay motionless. His story is far from unique. As VR becomes more immersive, the boundary between fantasy and reality blurs, and users, especially younger ones, can lose themselves entirely. One of the biggest attractions in VRChat is its sprawling nightlife simulation. Places like the Void Club replicate everything from booming sound systems and strobe lights to private lounges where users interact behind highly customizable avatars. On the surface, this seems harmless, even fun. But dig a little deeper, and a different picture emerges. Interviews with VRChat moderators reveal a disturbing trend. Vulnerable individuals, including teenagers, are being exposed to drinking games, adult roleplay, and grooming tactics in these virtual nightclubs. Some are coaxed into sharing personal information or engaging in intimate behaviors under the illusion of anonymity and safety. What's even more troubling is that VRChat has a large underage user base, and while the platform sets age restrictions, enforcement is limited at best. Beyond the parties, a more sinister underworld thrives. Virtual gangs operate within VRChat, not unlike real-world criminal networks. These groups gain notoriety by crashing servers, stealing custom avatars, and reselling them on black markets for cryptocurrency. Some go so far as to intimidate or harass users who get in their way. Their tactics are coordinated and targeted, often making users feel powerless, even within a game. And let's not forget, these aren't just kids messing around. Some of these groups are well organized and use sophisticated tools to exploit the system for profit and control. Possibly the most disturbing aspect of VRChat's dark side involves explicit avatar customization and adult role-play worlds. Avatars can be tailored with hyper-realistic features, and some environments are built specifically for NSFW activities. This becomes an ethical nightmare when you consider that a large portion of VRChat's user base is under 18. Let's talk about Tech Gangster, a notorious figure in the VRChat community. He gained attention for exploiting women in virtual spaces, building emotional connections, and then manipulating them for adult content creation. The line between virtual consent and real-life trauma becomes dangerously thin here. Similarly, MayVSF, a pseudonym for another user, ran a virtual adult video ring, luring users, often women, with false promises of money and fame. Once involved, some were blackmailed using their personal identification documents obtained through deceit. These are not isolated cases. They expose a critical vulnerability in how VRChat moderates, or fails to moderate, its content and user behavior. The psychological impact of prolonged VR exposure is profound. Isolation, anxiety, and even identity confusion can result when users spend too much time interacting as someone or something else. The brain begins to adopt virtual experiences as real, and for some, the detachment from their own life becomes irreversible. As VR becomes more sophisticated, it's not just a game anymore. It's an alternate reality where real consequences can unfold. So how do we address these challenges? It starts with education and awareness. Parents, teachers, and guardians need to understand the platforms their kids are using. Conversations about healthy tech boundaries are more essential than ever, but the burden doesn't fall solely on users. Developers and platform providers like VRChat must enforce stricter age verification, improve moderation tools, and introduce better support systems for users experiencing abuse or distress. AI-driven monitoring, anonymous reporting systems, and verified community moderators could make a huge difference. Above all, we must build a culture of digital empathy, safety, and responsibility, just as we strive to do in the real world. In conclusion, VRChat, like many digital platforms, offers thrilling, innovative experiences. But it also harbors hidden dangers, from addiction and mental health decline to predatory behavior and virtual crime. As we continue to explore virtual spaces, let's not forget to remain grounded in the real world. Balance is key. Enjoy the fantasy, but never lose sight of reality. Thank you for joining us on this eye-opening journey into VRChat's hidden world. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth explorations into the world's most fascinating digital frontiers. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, your real life always matters more than your virtual one.